Okay, so we can get started. Thank you, Meghna madam. And
Jaiprakash, sorry for interruption. Meghna madam, the live streaming it's not happening. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ wait ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
sure, definitely.
ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Okay,
ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್.
No problem. Okay, so we can get started. Thank you, Meghna madam. And
Jaiprakash, sorry for interruption. Meghna madam, the live streaming it's not happening.
Okay.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ wait ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely.
ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Okay, definitely. No problem.
Hello.
Thank you, Meghna madam. And
Jaiprakash, sorry for interruption. Meghna madam.
ಹೇಳಿ ಮಹೇಶ್. ಹಲೋ. ಹೇಳ.
ಸರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Yes, shall I start? Yeah, pleasant good morning to one and all. Hello, sir.
Hi, good morning, madam. Yeah.
On behalf of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, VTU Belagavi, I, Dr. Meghna Kulkarni, welcome today's resource person, Mr. Jaiprakash Yadrami, Staff Application Engineer, Synopsys EDI India Private Limited, who readily accepted our invitation for the webinar on Boost Your Skill Set in VLSI domain. So he's so busy, out of his busy schedule, he has accepted our invitation. We really thank you, sir. We are very grateful to you. So on behalf of the department, I thank you once again.
Thank you.
I welcome all the faculty members and student friends for this session. Here is his brief introduction. Mr. Jaiprakash has total of 15 plus years of experience in the field of VLSI front-end, includes RTL coding, synthesis, timing analysis, RTL and netlist debugging, formal verification, spyglass CDC checks, lint, spyglass, LP, constraints and SOC flow verification, and very good hands-on experience with spyglass and VCS, spyglass, CDC and lint rule checks. Currently, he is supporting Intel Qualcomm Bangalore on spyglass, CDC, RDC and lint for various teams across Intel. Also working on evaluation for next generation CDC and RDC. He worked for Atrenta India Private Limited Bangalore as Senior Field Application Engineer, Magma Design Automation India Private Limited Bangalore as Senior Member of Technical Staff. His professional skills are RTL sign-off, which includes block domain crossing detection, analysis and debugging ability, reset domain crossing detection, analysis, debug ability, convergence, glitch concepts on clock resets, hybrid flow testing, SOC top-down and bottom-up flow modeling, complete ASIC flow knowledge from RTL to GDS2, RTL logic design and RTL implementation, strong VSTL, Verilog coding and debugging skills. Synthesis sign-off includes logic synthesis, simulation and timing analysis, strong analysis and debugging skills for the RTL to GDS2 designs, regular regression setup design setups and verification. Also, he has expertise in formal verification sign-off and SOC sign-off. He is proficient in EDA tools like Atrenta, Synopsys, Magma, Cadence, Mentor Graphics, Xilinx ISC 6.1. His software skills includes hardware languages, Verilog STL, VSTL, System Verilog and SVA. Scripting languages, Unix shell scripting, TCL and Perl. Version control tool, ClearCase, CVS and GIT. Mr. Jaiprakash completed Executive General Management Program from IIM Lucknow, Noida campus in the year 2014-15 and postgraduated from VTU Belagavi in VLSI Design and Embedded System. I am proud to mention here that he is alumnus of VTU Belagavi. Some of his achievements are Customer Delight Award for 2017, 18 and 19, Above and Beyond Award for 2016, Star Performance of the Year, Certificate of Appreciation for Outstanding Effort in the year 2008-9, Best Achievement Award of the year 2008-9. With this brief introduction, once again I welcome Mr. Jaiprakash Yadrami, all the faculty members and all my student friends. Now I request sir to start with this session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you, all the staff. So it was really very warm welcome for me and good to hear. It's definitely a very broader experience, whatever the ma'am is explaining. Yeah, so definitely I touched upon most of the fields and I would like to thank and get this session started, right? Okay, so let me present my screen. Yeah, ma'am, can you confirm if the screen is visible?
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Okay, we can get started. Okay,
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hope all are doing fine and family is also doing fine, right? So hope everybody's come across this pandemic situation and our lives are completely kind of and diluted currently, and I hope things will definitely go better. And as being a human, right, definitely cross all kinds of difficulties, right? So all the obstacles, and hope we cross the ocean together. And so definitely one day we'll be back with the real life and original life what we are leading, right? I know this pandemic has given it has both positives and negatives, right? It has given us lots of time to learn new things and explore ourselves, and provided many. It has provided us many occasions to make yourself fit for the next years, right? Upcoming career growth and those stuff, right? So it is saving a lot of time, everyone, and that time can be utilized, in your career growth and make yourself successful. Okay. So with that small introduction, I would like to start. Right. So as ma'am told, I am myself Jay Prakash. I work for Synopsys India Private Limited. Right. And so today, more of theoretical concepts. I would like to share my experience, how we really work in this. When you say VLS industry, right? How do we really work in this VLS industry, where the industry is trending towards that, and how the technology is, and what kind of companies are coming into pictures, and how is the career growth? How do you really make yourself fit for this job, right? So I would like to share my experience and So meantime, I have certain slides. I'm trying to mention what are skills that you really need to develop yourself and make your life more successful, and how really make your career growth, right? So okay, so with that, we can go ahead. So if you see my first slide, right, skills, what does actually a skill means? I'm just trying to show you a certain slides to prepare yourself, okay? So what are skills? So definitely, so today's session is more about like how do you really boost your skills, okay? So definitely everybody has skills, right? Everybody has went through engineering courses and lots of subjects. If I know, I think more than 50 plus subjects we study through engineering, right? So those are the learning abilities that we already have, and how do we really utilize them for our career growth, right? So those will definitely uh, go through them. Okay, so this current slide, right, what it exactly shows, right, it's a very important slide. If you see, it says dream big, right? So always you have to dream, right? So until unless you dream what you want to do and what you want to achieve in life, right, you cannot meet your goals. Okay, so you definitely have to dream big and set goals accordingly. So you definitely have to sketch it out and write your goals, where you want to join and which field you want to explore in VLSI, right? And which kind of companies you would like to join, right? And so accordingly take actions, right? So basically you have to note down the set of goals, and right, you have to work accordingly and make sure that that comes into the picture, and you could able to do that. Believe me, I'm the one of the good example for the same, where if you want to do something from your heart or from your soul, if you want to really want to achieve something, right, if you take a particular set of actions to that, so definitely it's a doable thing, I can say, having an industry experience of 15 plus, right? So definitely it's a live example I'm setting. So it's everything is doable. You have to set the goal, and I think things are doable. Okay. Okay, so yeah, when I say you have to set goals, it doesn't mean that you have to set a goal that one day I will be in Mars or a moon, or one day I'll be somewhere else, right? So you have to set a realistic goals, okay, which you can achieve, which you can reachable, right? So such goals you have to set, okay. And so definitely I would like to mention this point, passion, okay. So each and every whatever the passion you have in your life, right, so definitely that passion will make you to achieve, okay. Whether you want to reach to a Leh Ladakh, or whether you want to reach to an VLSI domain, or if you want to get a job into the Intel, or if you want to get into the dream company Google or Yahoo, right? If you really want to get into that, right, so you need to have the passion in your life. Okay, so make sure you dream about it and you have the passion towards that, and you try to know in and out of the things and explore yourself. You have a lot of time, and make sure that you hit your goal, right? Okay, so definitely passion matters. I uh, i uh, so I'm the live example where how does this passion, when I started my career, I really don't have the meaning of what is passion, right? But definitely now I could able to make what is passion and how does it work, right? So as we go on through the slides, right, maybe I will keep on explaining the things on the mostly on the VLSI front, right? How do you really achieve? See, whatever the slides or whatever the topics I'm going to cover, right, you will find lot of materials online. Okay, now everybody is accessible to 4G, whatever 5G and everything, right? You have Google, lots of Wikipedia, and you have everything. So most of the things are accessible. Okay. So, but only the thing is, what makes you to success is you have to learn and make sure you yourself you dedicate your time to that, and what you need to learn, and you completely write out what exactly you want to do and how do you improve your skills, right? So I'm basically trying to take you and introduce some basic things you have to set, right? I know these days you might have studied a different kind of languages and different subjects, but so that is an 1% of your life. Okay, so next upcoming career, so definitely it now engineering has taught you theoretically how to really learn, right? What is the learning ability? How do you deal with different subjects and what all right things, right? So those things you have learned. So now, so apart from that, right? So now you might have scored 80% or 90% in your exams, but so definitely that is one part of your skill which is going to get you a job. But then again, 60 to 70% depend on your personal skills. How do you really get the job? How do you model? So now I can say, see, this percentage is just an, what you say, it's an entrance for any of the companies. Okay, it's just an, at least I can say it's an entrance to your interview. Okay, so once you get the interview, right, so there how you perform, how you communicate, how you adapt, how do you, show your skills and how do you learn, right? So basically, so that we'll look into the further slides. Okay, let me get started and we'll get started with agenda. Okay, so what I would like to cover today is basically some definitions. Okay, so definitely when I say VLSI, I am myself is very passionate about VLSI. Okay, I definitely took a word of passion, right? So I am completely passionate about VLSI. And if you want to enter into the world and universe of VLSI, how do you really tackle the things? You need to know some definitions, right? How do we learn those definitions? Without those definitions, don't even think of stepping into any of the interviews. So you need to know certain definitions of VLSI. Okay, so that I will try to take you through. Okay, so what are the different types of skills and what is skill? What are the different types of skills that you need to know? So that we'll see, and you know what to learn, right? And what are the skill sets and everything I'll explain. So how to enhance your skills. Okay, so nobody is born with the skills, right? So this skills is nothing but a learning ability. Okay, so how do you learn? How do you adopt, right? How do you adopt your things, right? So those things will cover, and how do you really enhance your skills? So that is very important. So definitely we'll go through that and different types of skills required in VLSI domain. Okay, so initially I would like to explain you some general skills. Okay, and after that, then we'll come to the VLSI domain. And when you take a topic of VLSI, right? What exactly you need to know? So what kind of skills you need to have, right? And how do you really make sure if there is some job opening, how do you make you are the greatest and fittest for that job, right? How will explain you how do you really do that? Okay, so current trend of semiconductor industries. Okay, when I say semiconductor industries, wherever there's a VLSI domain applicable, right? It can be an Intel, Qualcomm, Texas, Broadcom. You take any name. I think there's lot of companies. Okay, there's lot of companies in the field, and everybody currently industry is really in a booming state. And lots of technologies are coming into picture. 4G is gone, 5G is coming. Different processors are coming, right? So you have a lot of opportunities in the industry. So that definitely we'll discuss. Okay, how to develop skills in VLSI. Okay. So VLSI is a very niche domain. Okay, when you say VLSI, right, it's very specific and narrow domain. Okay, and just having the basics of your engineering knowledge will not definitely help you to fetch this VLSI jobs. Okay, what extra you need to do, right? That definitely will go through that. Okay, so and so definitely my presentation will include the job profiles. Okay, so I'm not sure how good you are at your engineering theoretical studies, but definitely you need to know how does the job profiles looks like. Okay, and when you want to apply for a specific job, first of all, you need to understand what are the skill sets required in the market, what kind of job profiles exist in the market. So not that companies will try to ask you a questions on which you are good at it. Okay, so definitely that will never happen. So basically you have to make sure whatever the company needs, right, that skill set you prepare in yourself and go to that job, so that even it will be very helpful for the interviewer to get into that stream, and even you can answer those, right? So that skills you have to develop. Okay, so different job descriptions, and at end of the presentation, so I would like to I have seen many people when you say resume or a curriculum vitae, right? So basically what they do is they put their personal profile, they put their engineering education, and followed by percentage they put. What else they have? They don't have anything else in the resume, right? As if you are going as a fresher, so you have anything else? No. You have to make sure you put each and every whatever the skill sets you develop, what kind of projects you do, right? So which can match the industry which you are applying for. So just having the percentage doesn't mean you will get into the industry. No, that's completely wrong. So definitely you need to have a good skills and good job profiles, and that you need to mention as part of your resume. So I will just give you some tips and tricks and how do we go about it, right? Okay, let's get started. So when I said definitions, so when you want to get into the VLSI industry, okay, so definitely these are the certain definitions that I want at least those who are attending this session, right? So they need to prepare with at least minimum these definitions. If you go for any of the interviews for any of the VLSI company, right? So these definitions are the primary things. It's like an basic thing for your interview, right? So what exactly is the VLSI? VLSI stands for Very Large Scale Integration, okay? And the circuit that consists of minimum 30,000 to 10 lakhs transistor in a chip. Okay, so that size we call it as an VLSI, Very Large Scale Integrated Circuit, in which millions of transistors contain 30,000 to 10 lakhs of transistor in a single chip. So that's where it stands for the VLSI. Okay, it came into the existence in 1980. And the main purpose of VLSI is to reduce the area, improve the speed of the chip, and reduce the power losses. Okay, when I say reduce the area and improve the speed and reduce the power losses, right? So definitely these are the topics that you need to understand when you say VLSI. What exactly it means to say reduce the area, how do we improve the speed and reduce the power losses, right? So definitely you need to explore those things and learn. Okay, so next, VLSI is kind of a very general term for any when you come into the chip design industry or a semiconductor industry, right? It's a very general term that you need to know. When you come to the ASIC, what is ASICs, right? It's an application specific, right? So earlier how the field was is they used to have a general transistors for all the applications. So they used to use a general transistors and build a VLSI or a single chip where you have a general transistors and put together you make one functionality work, right? So now the industry is leading to an ASIC. What does ASIC means? You have to develop an application specific chips, okay? Basically, if you want to do the 5G chips, right? So you have to develop the 5G specific 5th generation, okay? 4G chips, 5G chips, any processor based, right? And iPhone has their own 5G and Qualcomm has their own 5G, right? So how do you develop such specific functionality chips? So those are called an ASICs, okay? And next comes to the CMOS. CMOS is nothing but a complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It is a technology used to produce an integrated circuit, okay? When you say VLSI, when you say ASIC, right? So those are the specific to the transistors field. When I come to the CMOS, right? What does it mean? When you actually have some functionality through your RTL coding, right? How do you make that look into the single chip? So that has to get into the CMOS form, okay? Basically, we call it as an back-end flow, and it has to come into the binaries. So it's basically a die which they are trying to make as a single chip, small die. Okay, so that is CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Okay, so one more important definition that you need to know is definitely an Moore's law. Okay, so this is the basic of VLSI. What is Moore's law? Okay, Moore's law refers to the Moore's perception that number of transistors on a microchip doubles every 2 years. So this is very, earlier itself they have stated the number of transistors per chip, right, definitely will double every 2 years. So that is a trend which is going on, and I can say it is even crossing that trend too. Okay, so you need to know. So definitely one of the thing that will come up is Moore's law is still alive, because the 1980s and 1990s it was stated that number of transistors per chip will double. Will that still a valid question? Is that still a valid thing? Yes, it is still a valid, right? so well through the variety of design innovations. Now, even though the chips are shrinking, the total die size is shrinking, okay, but the number of transistors are definitely increasing. So Moore's law is still met. And now the earlier, the major industry is working towards the reducing the chip size or a die size. But now the industry is going towards increasing the performance, basically the speed, okay, the speed and power losses, it is working towards that. Okay, so that is the Moore's law. Apart from that, we have something called a technology node. So this is the again a basic question they will ask you when you want to the VLSI, right? So they will ask you what is technology node? Do you have any idea of technology node? Okay, so what exactly is this technology node? Okay, so this is also called, some people also call it as a process node or a process technology or a simply a node. Okay, it is basically refers to the semiconductor manufacturing process and its design rules. Hope everybody is knowing, right? There are a number of fabrication units that we have, right? So every fabrication unit is designed to meet this nanotechnologies. Okay, how do you really fabricate the chips, right? And what kind of rules you design to fabricate, right? So that is nothing but a technology node. Okay, so the current trend, so anybody can ask you what is the current technology node, right? So earlier we started with 12 nanometer, 105 and whatever, right? So now we have the current technology node which we are leading to is a 7 nanometer technology node followed by a 10 nanometer. And 5 nanometer chips are also in the process, but definitely 7 nanometer and the 10 nanometer, most of the chips, like if you consider any of the new processors or any 5G technology chips or anything like that, right? They are coming with the 7 nanometers and the 10 nanometers chips. Okay. So the 7 nanometer chips, right? The lithography is a technology node semiconductor manufacturing process. As I already told you, there is not much difference between the 10 nanometer and the 7 nanometer technology compared to 10 nanometer process node, right? The 7 nanometer technology, what they achieved is definitely the size and its technology, and definitely where they have made sure that the processor speed in the 7 nanometer is more, and the performance is definitely compared to 10 nanometer chips. So 7 nanometer is having a more performance rather than the number of transistors or the process node on the chip, right? Okay, so that's the initial definitions that I would like to talk about, right? So hope everybody remembers VLSI, ASIC, CMOS, Moore's law, technology node. So these are the basic things that you need to know. Okay, let's go further. Okay, let's come to the skills, today's topic. Okay, so everybody might be knowing, everybody has skills. I can rather say everybody has skills, and I think by the time you complete engineering, most of the technical topics you might have developed. Okay, so now let's look at what exactly the personal skills and basically I can say soft skills and the hard skills, right? So what exactly the skills? How do you define the skills, right? It's ability to use one's knowledge effectively and readily in execution or the performance, right? So you already have a theoretical knowledge, okay? How do you make sure that your knowledge gets implemented, right? So whatever you have learned, it's not to get 80% or 90% marks in the paper, right? No, it is not restricted to that. So now it's time that how do you make sure and your knowledge, whatever you have achieved, whatever the digital design circuits, analog or any subjects you have learned, right? How do you really make it implemented, right? So that's the ability to use. So that's nothing but a skills. So other way to define is a learning ability to do something. Okay. So definitely, so one point to be noted here. Okay. Everybody can learn, but they have to make themselves dedicated and make sure they learn and what the goal need to be achieved, right? It's basically what you call skill is a learning ability to do something. So you have to adapt to the changes and you have to learn what exactly needed in the industry. Okay, so basically what I'm looking, right, I interviewed many people. When they come to the interviews, right, they come preparation with lots of things. Okay, but you should not be stubborn enough saying that, no, sir, I learned this, I'll be using this. No, sir, I learned only this, I want to do this only. No. People in the industry, employer is looking how does the learning capability they have. Okay. How is the learning curve he has? So we definitely want to know, if I give him a something new subject, some new role or something, what is the learning capability and ability he has? So that definitely we look for. Okay. So that definitely you remember. Don't make yourself as a stubborn that you know something and you want to do something. Okay. So, but definitely keep yourself open to whatever the interviewer says. If you don't know anything, just simply say, sir, I definitely can learn. Right. So that's the best word to use it. Okay. Right. So another definition is the ability to perform activity in a competent manner. What does it a competent manner? Right. So like you people already did enough on the competent manner, right? So definitely I had a 5 freshers and I give them some work and I make sure that tell them that I will give a technology guide or the tool guide, right, to learn and get implemented. Okay. So how well you learn, how well you implement, and what is a competency you have to learn. So that is very important. The initial a year or 6 months, right, that you spend to learn, right? So that makes you visible to your manager and the company how well you are capable of doing something, right? So that is the skill. That skill you need to develop. So basically, yeah, right. So skill is not basically restricted to your technical or a non-technical, right? It can be anything. If you want to learn something, you should learn and make sure that you are good at it. Okay. So what are the types of skills that we have? Ma'am, I think we have to keep a note of the time. Okay. So what are the types of skills that we have? So as I told you, right, being a quick learner. So this is very important, right? At the industry, when you get into that industry, initial 3 months, they will see you how good you are at the learner, right? You have to be a very good quick learner and followed by good communication skills. What I mean to say communication skills is oral written communication skills. When you get into some company, they will definitely see you not only in the interview. So once you join also, right? How do you interact with others? How do you communicate with your colleagues? How do you communicate with your manager, right? And how well technical things you can express, right? When you have a discussion of doing something technically or with the product team or the R&D, right? So definitely, if you will be in one of the role, so definitely you have to interact either with the A's or the P's or the R&Ds or one or the other team. Okay. How well you are communicating, how well the written communications you have, right? So not only the communication, how well you could able to communicate through the written skills. So that is very important, right? So that will help you to definitely grow in your position. So getting the job is the first thing, but once you get into the job, right, how well you make yourself comfortable and how do you make your performance to improve. So that all depends on your soft skills. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you soft skills are very, very important. So there's a lot of materials online, it's available. Just make sure you go through the soft skills, whatever the things, right? So that is very important. So critical thinking, working well in a team, self-motivation, being flexible, determination and persistence, good time management. Okay, these are the certain classifications in the soft skills. Okay, what do I mean by critical thinking? Okay, so they definitely, when you start writing a code or when you start solving in customer problems or when you start interacting with the R&D, right? So definitely you cannot expect them to solve everything for you, right? So that is not possible. So you have to put your thinking forward and tell them the solutions, how well this can be solved, right? So you should be in that position. So you make sure that you have a very good thinking before you propose any questions to them, right? So you make sure you have some solutions also, right? So when you ask, so I think we are not only as being a human being, right? So everybody is good at complaining on something. Okay, we complain, we need that, we need this, and that is not going well, this is not going well, right? No. So definitely one part it is okay, but you have to make yourself to put on their shoes and make sure you think, if I tell something, some questions, or if I state some problems, what can be the solution, right? So you have to definitely think over that and go with an problem statement and get the solution. Definitely you have the chances to propose the solutions to. Okay, so that's what industry is looking for. Working well in a team. This is very, very important. Okay, so none of the products can be manufactured or designed by a single person in industry. Okay, so you cannot expect, I know in studying you might be doing it and you might be scoring a 90%, 95%, 80%. That's a standalone or the individual performance. Okay, so this 4 years is completely different. When you join the company, you have to work with a team and you have to work in a team, so which is very important. So make sure what the other person speaks and what the other person has the skills, what skills you have, and how do you coordinate with each other. So this is one of the topic that definitely you need to understand. Okay, the self motivation to do anything. Okay, when you get something, some work is assigned to you, how do you complete it? It's not that I have a weekend, next week I will do, next Monday I will do. No, you have to be motivated enough to show yourself that you are fit for that job, right? You have to be motivated. Okay, so being a flexibility or an adaptability is what is this? Okay, so when you join industry, right, so initially you may get the job desired to you. Basically, I'm looking for a job in the design field, okay, where I will be designing, and I don't want to work with customers, or I don't want to work with R&D team, right? You are in a design team. So basically your mentality is basically to do with the architecture related stuffs and some design related stuffs. Okay, but what if things changes when you want to grow in your position, when you want to grow in your position, when you want to make yourself explore among other teams, right? So you have to be flexible enough. So you should be flexible enough to switch over to some other team, learn something, and do the keep the things going, right? So that is definitely required. And I have come across this. I will take an example and maybe I will explain you when it comes to the explanation, right? So determination and persistence. So you have to be very much determined, and persistence in work is always required. It doesn't mean that today one day you will work day and night 24/7 and next day you don't work anything, right? So that is not the industry what is expecting. Okay, so basically you have to be consistent and persistent enough to your what you deal with the projects and those times. So good time management. So I don't have to say anything about good time management. So definitely this is one of the stuff that everybody needs to know, right? If you want to complete the paper in 3 hours, so definitely you have to deal with the time here also in the companies. So how do you deal with the time is very precious, and accordingly you have to prepare and make sure you complete the job in a given specific time. Okay, so what skills the employers looking for in 2021, right? So what are the top skills that employer or any organization is looking for, right? Okay, so what exactly we are looking for, or the company is looking for, I can say. Basically, see, first point is the tech savviness. Okay, now see, if you just have the bookish knowledge of engineering, that is not sufficient. You need to know what is the current trend in the market. Okay, what is current trend in the market, what is the most demanding thing in the market, and what is more see, when you okay, let me take a simple example. So anybody wants to use the 3G mobiles? No, right? So which came around 2008, 9 or 10, 12, right? So there were the 3G mobiles. Anybody wants to live with the 3G mobiles? No, right? So everybody is, what you say, very enthused to use the latest mobiles, latest features, latest app stores and everything, right? So that is nothing but a tech savviness in mobiles, right? How do you map into the industries, right? When you come to the industries, you when you want to enter into the VLSI field, you definitely need to explore what is the latest in VLSI. Like as I said, right, 7 nanometer, 10 nanometer, 5 nanometer. What exactly is the latest in the industry? What is going on? What is artificial intelligence? What is chatbots? Okay, what is machine learning, what is data analytics, so everything I'm telling you, if you want to get into the industry, so definitely you have to keep a pace in the current pace, right? You have to be in a current pace and try to understand what exactly the things. Okay, like tech savviness is one of them, and emotional intelligence, decision making, problem solving capability, leadership, conflict resolution, written communication, verbal communication, right? So I'm just listing down the points, okay? And wherever it is required, I will try to explain it. But definitely these slides will be hopefully sent to you. So make the note of the points and try to explore on each of the points, like what is emotional intelligence, what is decision making, right? So decision making not only at the professional, even at the personal life also, how do you make decisions, how do you take decisions, it's very important, and in the industry also it is required. Okay, so how do you convince your customers? So these are the certain soft skills which we are looking for. Okay, so conflict resolution is one of the important thing. Okay, when you come into the situation where there are multiple solutions, okay, but which solution you propose to customer, okay, which solution you propose to R&D, so that is important. So conflict resolution capability need to have. Okay, so that's one of them. And apart from that, strengths. Okay, so definitely make sure your resume has the strengths and weakness. So this is the common question which is going to be asked. Okay, so strengths can be in leadership, communication, or a writing skill. So you can use one of those soft skills and go through the good number of materials, learn them, and make sure that you put part of as part of your resume. Okay, and when they throw the questions at you, you should be able to explain what are the soft skills, what are the different kinds of skills that you have, how do you really communicate, how do you solve the problem, right? So those are the certain things that you need to have. So before they ask, you have to mention the weakness also. What is weakness? Okay, fear of public speaking. So this is just one of the example. You can have your own example, and maybe you can just try to explain. Okay, so what is personal development skills? Okay, so there are two skills, as I told you, soft skills and the hard skills. Okay, and the so hard skills, what I mean hard skills is basically technical topics or anything like that, right? In engineering also, you people have learned many technical topics and lots of things. Okay, that even you are telling that you scored 80%, you are showing it through a percentage something. Okay, so that definitely you can convey to the companies saying that I am very good at hard skills. I know digital design, I know analog, and I know everything, right? But when it comes to the personal development skills, so none of the colleges or or nor your subjects, anybody will teach you what are personal development skills that you have to develop in yourself. Okay, what are personal development skills? Okay, it's basically personal development skill is the ongoing act of assessing your life goals, okay, and values, and building your skills and qualities to reach your potential. Everybody has the potential, there is no doubt about it. But how do you set your goals, and how do you create your goals, or how do you assess your goals, right? So basically that self assessment has to be done. What are you good at? Okay, current everybody, I think everybody needs to take a pen and paper. You write down what skills you have. Okay, and by when you want to develop those skills, if you don't have, what is the goal that you want to achieve, you have to assess yourself. So this is not only for those who are looking for a job, it is even applicable those who are a regular employee. Even it is applicable for me also. So that what we do in our companies is basically we assess ourselves. So we assess ourselves in the next 1 year where we will be, what we will be learning, what are the new skills that we are developing, right? So this self-assessment is for everyone. I think this self-assessment has to be taken by each and every employee and the students, those who really want to pursue for a further career growth or to get a job, right? So the self-assessment has to be done. Okay, so what are personal development skills? Okay, so as I told you, it's in qualities and abilities. Okay, that will help you to grow both. Yeah, so that will help you to grow both personally and professionally. Okay, So definitely just growing professionally is also not important. You have to grow personally also, right? When you talk to someone, okay, when you talk to someone, when you talk to your relatives, when you talk to your older colleagues, when you talk to your older lecturers, or when are you talking to the unknown person, right? How do you communicate? What is your body language, right? Everything depends. Okay, so basically you are putting, when you're talking to an unknown person, at the first instance you are putting what your image, what kind of person you are. Okay, when you talk to them, you're putting an what kind of person, basically you are putting the complete image on them, so that next time whether they need to talk to you or not, you will make sure. Okay, so first it's better you learn what all things you need to develop, what is the body language, how do you talk to others, right? Not only personally but professionally also, it is important. Okay, so basically the skills that will help you to nurture your personal development. Okay, understanding and improving these skills can maximize your potential. Okay, so definitely everybody has a potential, but how do you maximize your potential? So you have to keep learning the new skills. Okay, you have to keep exploring the new things, and that will help you to do the career growth. Okay, not only getting the job, but that will help you to grow your career, right? Okay, so why are personal development skills are important? I think already I have explained with so many examples, right? So why personal development skill is very important, right? How does it helps? It helps you to advance your career. Okay, just getting the job is one aspect, but once you get into the job, what next? You have to grow, right? So you have to advance your career. So not only like if you're joining as an some member of technical staff, it doesn't mean that next 3 years you will remain in a member of technical staff, right? So definitely you want to grow as a senior member, then the staff, then the manager, then the whatever the different roles, right? So definitely you want to grow, right? So these are personal development skills will help you to do advance your career, and it will help you to improve your strengths and talents, better yourself. So how do you make to better yourself? So you are not the same person who is studying engineering and who is doing the jobs, right? We are not the same person. So definitely we improve ourselves day by day, right? So that should be there. So these skill sets will help you to improve yourself, so that not others. Okay, definitely it will help you to improve yourself. So make sure you keep learning the new skill sets, new languages, and new things, right? So that's very important. So basically, and another thing is basically it will help you to satisfy yourself. Okay, so you are satisfying yourself, not others. By learning the skills, you are satisfying yourself. Okay, so that is very important. The inner satisfaction should come. Okay, so apart from that, the personal development skills can be an qualities you already have, or once you can gain through an education or a training. Okay, how do you develop these skills? Okay, all are not a built-in skills. Okay, none of them has come up born with those skills, right? So you have to develop it through talking to others, or attending the webinars, or by going through the education. So that's how you develop. So what are the skills that you need to develop is the communication, as I told you, interpersonal skills, organization skills, problem solving, self-confidence, adaptability, right? So these are the different skills that you need to develop. Okay, fine. So let's get into the maybe an one line detail I would like to give, right? Communication, how communication is important. Communication is not only about speaking. Okay, so communication is about speaking to others. Okay, written communication skills, and you also need to have a very good listening skills. You should be a very good listener. Until unless you listen properly, you cannot answer it, you cannot solve any problem, right? So you should be a good listener too, right? So what is interpersonal skills? Okay, so basically this is also called a people skills or social skills. Okay, verbal and non-verbal behavior and reactions to interact with other people. So it's very important how do you interact with others technically, non-technically in your field, right? It's very important. Organization, problem solving, self-confidence, adaptability, right? So basically industries will see you how you are quick in adapting anything. All right, you are quick in adapting anything to the new changes. Okay, so today I might have joined with some technology and some tools, but after down the line, after 10 years, you cannot expect same tool to be there and same technology to be there, right? It's not happen. This is an industry. This is not something else where machine is working today. Tomorrow also it will do the same thing. It's not ATM machine, right? Today also it is delivering a cash. Tomorrow also it will deliver a cash, right? So today you are learning something, and after 10 years down the line, so things will change, technology will change, right? So you have to adopt yourself. So that is very thing. So this adaptability, I think everybody has to make sure that adaptability is part of your life. Okay, integrity, work ethic. So work ethic is very important. Okay, in the industries, how ethical you are. Okay, so how ethical you are, how responsibility you are, how do you take up your work, how do you doesn't disclose if it doesn't needs to be disclosed, right? So you have to be ethical whatever you do. Okay, and leadership is definitely it's one of the important aspect if you want to grow in your technical role or whatever, right? So you have to show yourself among others. How do you really differentiate yourself and what kind of leadership you have, right? So if you want to grow, so definitely this is required. So definitely, but not to initially to fetch the job or to get into the industry, but I think once you get into the industry, definitely what leadership and how do you want to grow your career, right? So that is important. Okay, so so far we have seen what kind of skills and what other types of skills and different things that you need to develop, right? And now the question comes is how do you learn those skills? How do you develop those skills, right? Okay, so that see that comes through the reading. Okay, you can read on multiple articles, multiple webinar topics, or multiple paper. People keep publishing the papers, so keep reading the papers. So many things. So you can improve your skills. There are lots of ways to improve your skills. Okay, learn something new. For example, you have learned in engineering VSDL. I think C++ you might have learned, right? And communications, I think you have one communication subject also, apart from the TFT, testability, and so many subjects you have, analog, digital you have, right? So those are the already learned skills. Definitely you can make yourself and more profession into that. But what is the new thing that you want to learn? Okay, in industry, political, Python, there are many scripting languages which are coming. It is as good as a very basic thing in the life. Okay, so that you need to learn. So keep learning something new, put it as part of your resume. Okay, so whatever you learn, make sure your resume has it. Okay, if some industry or employer or organization is looking for something, so what happens, right? They search with a keyword. Okay, when they hit that keyword, so they will select your resume across thousands of thousands of candidates who are really looking for a job, right? Make sure that your resume has all those skill sets: Perl, Python, Tickle, Unix, and all those things. Okay. And another good way to learn is if you learn something, definitely ask for a feedback. Okay, ask for a feedback from your colleague. He can be a friend, manager, or anybody, right? So ask for a feedback and how can he improve himself. Okay, so you can, another point is you can observe others. Okay, if somebody is talking to you, if somebody is teaching you, or somebody helping you to achieve a goal, listen to him, observe him, what are the skills that he is having. If today somebody good at the if somebody is going at the VP scale, right? He's at the director level or the VP, or somebody is a co-founder or a founder of some company, right? How can he get into that position, right? You should observe them. So try to observe them and see what are the skills that you can get into yourself, right? So that is important. So having the network, I think this is everybody is good at having the network. So this is definitely one of the things that everybody needs to have. Okay, so let us, I think we are here for the VLSI specific, right? So now I'm covered with the soft skills. Let's see next 15 to 20 minutes, let's cover the VLSI specific skills, what exactly you require to get into the VLSI field. Okay, just give me a break. I'll just have some fun. Okay, let's get started. Okay, as I told you, right? As I told you, everyone, I'm very passionate when it comes to the VLSI. I made sure myself I start from the scratch, like RTL coding, till we do the verification. Next, we go to the PNR placement routing or whatever. Not till you get the chip out, and you should see the chip once you design something or once you do something, right? If you have that chip in your hand, you should see the happiness that you will have. So you need to have that kind of dreams. Okay, you can have your own chips, you can have your own 5G technologies, lots of things can be done. Only thing is you have to dream big and chat out the things and start doing it, right? So when it comes to the VLSS specific skills, so what we are exactly looking for is be very clear about your subjects of PG or a UG. Okay, and I have come across multiple interviews. Okay, my first basic question will be, what are the subjects you have? Okay, you believe me, some people they doesn't know what all subjects they have in their postgraduate or undergraduate. Is that something as an employer are we expecting? No, right? So whatever you have studies, so at least you should know the names of your subjects, what you have. Okay, so that is first and foremost thing that you need to know. Okay, so if you're coming from an electronics background or CS background, right, make sure you learn the basic good concepts. So you need to, when somebody says transistor, what is transistor, right? So that you should learn. If somebody says AND gate, OR gate, mux, encoder, decoder, right? If you want to come to the VLSI field, what is FSM? So all the things, make sure yourself good at digital design concepts. Okay. So interviewer definitely will ask you what is encoder, decoder, mux. So you may have to write RTL, Verilog, VSDL coding, right? And as a fresher, right, it's good to have the CMOS gates and VLSI. Okay, hope everybody might be knowing how to draw the stick diagrams, what is CMOS, what is VLSI, what is bird's beak, and what is what is the different types of CMOS gates, right? So how do you draw a stick diagram for an AND gate, OR gate, or inverter? So those things are definitely is required, believe me. Okay, so Verilog, VSDL is definitely Verilog is the major thing which is being used across the industry. Verilog system, Verilog. So make sure yourself you could be able to write the Verilog coding for encoder, decoder. Okay, simple flop, asynchronous flop, synchronous flops, everything. So that's very important. Okay, so apart from that, those who are really looking for the verification positions, so definitely I will explain what are the different kinds of positions we have. But those who are specifically looking for verification positions, you should be well versed with system Verilog and UUM language, right? Unified Verifier. So UUM language. So you need to learn that. Okay. So strong digital design concepts. Verilog for DFT has become more sought after the skill, as there are few engineers available in the industry. Okay, so you need to have a digital design concepts, and if you have DFT concept, right, design for testability. So basically, how to insert marks, state, and those stuff, right? So DFT is one more niche field, so where we are not finding any candidate. Believe me, we are looking for the we have lots of positions in the industry. There is no doubt about it. So today also, so I think from past 1.5 years we are searching for a good candidate. Still we are not getting a good candidate. But there are lots of positions in the industry. But make sure you learn thoroughly certain things and adopt certain things. And when you come into the interview, you should be able to express yourself and put in forward all the technical knowledge, and you could be able to learn good skills. Okay. See, instead of 3 years to 5 years experience, we are ready to hire 1 year experience guy or a freshers guy, but he has to ready to dedicate his time, and he should be ready to learn the new things. Okay, so that's what is required in the industry. So physical design has been a hot skill from the time I know about VLSI. So definitely physical design is something I don't think so in post undergraduation or a post graduation you will really learn about physical design. basically placement, routing, clock tree analysis, and lots of stuff comes into the picture. If you could able to develop some basic skills into that, definitely you can gain the position. Okay. So be updated about the current technology, as I told you. So you need to know what is the current technology that is industry is having. Okay. So tools knowledge is definitely an add-on knowledge. Okay, to your current. This is very important. I think most of these engineering colleges or postgraduate colleges, right? I think they have these tools in house, right? So good to have the tools knowledge. If you have the tools knowledge, we as an employer, right, we don't feel burden on ourselves to teach something for see why freshers are burdened to the industry, because they have to spend almost an year to teach them about the tools, teach them about the tool concepts, new concepts, VLSI, VSGL, and the different tool trainings or whatever, right? So we have to spend almost not only our time, even we have to spend others' time and make sure that freshers learns everything, right? What if we get the candidates who is having some good knowledge of the tools, which we really don't have to spend our own time, right? Because in the industry, everybody is busy. Believe me, especially this work from home season, right? And this thing, everybody is working from morning 8 to night 11, 12 o'clock. Okay, everybody is busy and nobody has time to spare to the freshers or to learn new things. Okay, so if you are coming with a good skills, right, like at least basic skills and tool knowledge, it's an add-on knowledge and you are easily recruited. Okay. Okay, to become a VLSI engineer, what you need to know? Okay, as I told you, so digital design concepts, right? That can include flops, flip-flops, sequential elements, edge or level trigger latches, combination circuit concepts, delay concepts, propagation delay, transition delay, cell delay, net delay, stage delay. I think you people might have come across all these concepts. Okay, I'm just reiterating them just to make sure that you people really learn all these things and come be prepared for the interviews. So when you get some interviews, don't tell that, no, I will come tomorrow, I will come in an hour. No, that will not help you. You have to be prepared with all these concepts. Make a good notes of it, okay? Make a good notes of it, prepare and come to the interviews, okay? Not only digital design concepts, when it comes to timing concepts, every Tom, Dick and Harry will ask you what is setup, what is hold, what is recovery, what is removal concepts, what is key, what is sleep, okay? So these are the basic concepts everybody will ask you, okay? Whole chip, when I say any integrated circuit, semiconductor, any chip, 5G, 4G processor, anything if you say, right? Everything is working on a reset and a clock, okay? How does the reset interact? How does the clock works? How does the multiple clocks interact? How does the multiple flops interact, right? So those all concepts is required. Okay. So what is the different related to clock concepts and how does it deal, right? So try to read the articles. Okay. There are many articles. I think if you are well aware of Synopsys or Mentor Graphics or any companies, right? They yearly conduct the conferences, right? So I think if you attend, you will get online all the materials, okay? Different types of papers, what is the current trend, what is the new trend is going to come up, right? So everything is available in the market. You just have to make your mind and study them, okay? So let's come to the programming and scripting languages. So it includes Verilog, VSGL and System Verilog, okay? Whatever I'm taking as a point, right? It is a must. Remember, it is a must, okay? Tcl, Perl, Python scripting are languages, Unix-based different scripting languages. Everything is a must. You have to learn this Tcl, Perl, Python. Okay, so make sure you learn Perl or a Python. So those subjects has to be there. Okay, and Unix is a basic thing. So everything, whatever you start coding or anything in the once you enter the industry, right? So Unix is the basic stuff that you need to have, right? Unix is a basic. And followed by the CMOS design concept, some CMOS capacitance resistance. So if you are really going for a physical design, right? So then you may need all these things, right? Good so far, Meghna madam. Hope everybody's.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah. See, when you say the VLSI industry, right? As I told you, basic definitions, VLSI, ASIC, and those stuff. Okay, and another thing, bare minimum thing that you need to know is what is the chip flow, what is the design flow. Okay, how does actually the chip comes into picture, right? It has a lot of stages. Okay, so what is that ASIC design flow? That is important to know. Okay, so basically it starts with the specification, architectural design, behavioral coding. What is the behavioral function? Basically writing the code into it. Then comes back to the synthesis, logical implementation. Then comes to the synthesis. Then it comes to the backend. Okay, PNL, placement and routing and design layout. Okay, so make sure everybody knows the flow diagram of the ASIC flow. Okay, because first question, some basic questions we start with. Next question, what we do is we basically tell them to have an ASIC flow in the paper. Once they have the ASIC flow, we'll start asking questions stage by stage. Okay, fine. So this is one detailed ASIC design cycle. How does it really go, right? So as I say, system specification. So basically you have to spec it, what exactly need, what functionality is required, right? You have to spec it. Okay. After that, then architectural design comes into the picture. So what exactly, basically what is the die size, what is the area in that you need to design the chip, and you need to write the code in some manner, right? You have to follow certain guidelines and those stuff will be there. So that is important. Apart from that comes to the functional design or the logic design. You will start writing the RTL coding for them to achieve the any of the logics. Okay, circuit design. And see, this also includes simulation, verification, all those steps. Okay, it's a very vast field. When it comes to the ASIC or a VLSI field, right? It's very vast. Matlab, it's very vast. Okay, so every step, system specification has its own industries. Architectural design has its own industries. Okay, the functional spec, like specking it out and then writing the RTL code and getting the logic design is somebody else is doing. Again, you will be doing the logic synthesis and translation, mapping, optimization, and see whole flow the tool is doing. Okay, understood? Except initial specking it out and writing the RTL design, most of the things tools will be doing, but you will be helping tool to how to achieve your goal. Okay, so that is very important, how to get the chip right. So this is the what die I was referring, right? So this is basically called a die. So this, if you see one of the square, right, so that square is a chip. Okay, that comes as a chip. So this is basically a one die. Okay, so one chip is part of it. Okay, so when you come to the complete functionality, it goes to the packaging. So whole process, takes almost around 6 months to a year. But there are companies who are coming with the good new process, right? They're coming out earlier. The period was around 2 years to get the chip out. Okay, but now it's ranging from 6 months to 1 year. So every 1 year they are supposed to get some chips. Okay, and even I think certain companies are now getting chips out within an 3 months. If you see the industry, let's take an example of mobile industry only, right? You see S6, S5, S8, S9, S11. How many? So within 2 quarterly they keep releasing. You keep getting the new mobiles, right? You keep getting the new technologies. So many things are coming into the picture, right? So technology just keeps changing. You have to adopt, start doing, integrate, get the chip out. So that's industries, like they are working like mad now. So make sure come prepared for the basic stuffs and the flow and everything, right? So okay, so there are some slides which will help you to refer back. What is front end flow, what is back end, what is synthesis. I was telling you, right? When you start with the spec, then it comes to the RTL, functional verification, synthesis, gate level netlist, design analysis, golden gate netlist. What does the golden gate netlist? It's basically once you do RTL coding and everything, right? Once you do the simulation, everything, you will map the your RTL, basically AND gate, NAND gate, OR gate, everything you will map into the libraries, lib models. Okay. So once you map into the lib models, you will get a golden gate netlist. So this will be taken further by the backend flow team and they will do their analysis. So this is the front end flow. Okay. Similarly, backend flow, you have lots of, once you give them the netlist, right? Golden gate netlist, then you have flow planning, placement, routing. So each stage is, I'm telling you, note down this front and back end flow. each stage is note down. Try to have some knowledge on these flow related stuff and analyze them. Each is a very vast field. Okay. So as I told you, you need to have the tool knowledge, right? Everybody needs to have a tool knowledge. So there are many number of tools for each and every stage. Okay. So RTL design. Okay. When you say RTL design, basically Verilog, VSTL, what are the different tools you have? You have the design compiler, you have some RTL from Cadence, how many, right? When it comes to the simulation, Cadence has some tools, Synopsys has some tools, Mentor has some tools, right? When it comes to the synthesis, Synopsys has a design compiler, Cadence has something encounter, right? Formal verification. So every company has some or the other things, okay? When you want to get into some field, it's good to know what are the corresponding tools. I know you people might not be able to explore the tool knowledge, but definitely you can refer the tool guides. You tell them, like, if you're entering into the simulation or VCS, if some job skills is looking for the VCS skills, what you do is go online and just download the Synopsys VCS tool guide. Tool guide, I think you can get anywhere. Okay, just download the tool guide. Try to go through it. Try to go through the different terms and things. Okay, you tell them theoretically, I know how does the Synopsys VCS tool works, but I'm not on hands-on experience. But theoretically, I'm good at it. If they start throwing at you some questions, basic question, you should be able to answer. If you answer, definitely you will be the candidate who is going to get selected. Am I clear? You are the candidate who is going to get selected if you have the tool knowledge, right? Because we are looking for the same. So it's very helpful for us if I'm recruiting someone, if they have the tool knowledge, then definitely the preference goes to them, right? So here I'm listing out different kinds of tools what we have, right? Design compiler. I think Synopsys, Cadence are the top players of the EDA industry. Okay, so good to have the tool knowledge, at least theoretical knowledge. If it is possible, I think some of the universities are having these tools in house. Okay, and good to go and try writing RTL, try to do the simulation, try to do the synthesis. Okay, you try to achieve those things. I don't know. I think now you guys should be able to do, because lots of facilities have improved. When we were doing, we used to somewhat download the free versions of the tools and try doing some schematic, analog, mixed signal designs, and lots of stuffs we did. Okay, but I think now readily food is available. Just make sure you go and grab it and eat properly. Okay, so that's very important, right? Having a tool knowledge, it's an add-on to your resume. Okay, so far, no, I took an example of what are the skills that you need to be an VLSI engineer, right? So how do you develop those skills? Now the question comes is, sir, you taught us so many things that we need to study: digital design aspects, analog aspects, DFT, physical design, and whatnot. You told us everything, whatever is there in our books, you told us everything, but how do you develop that skill sets? Okay. So now comes how do you develop those skill sets, right? So whatever you have learned in undergraduate or postgraduate, that is not sufficient. Okay, I'm the live example, that is not sufficient. How do you develop these extra skill sets? Okay, attend some online and offline courses. Okay, so I think in online there are so many courses available. Okay, so many courses, offline courses also available. Try to attend the webinars, like how you are attending this webinar, right? Try to attend different webinars, try to attend different conferences. So that will help you to get, I think, some of the websites I don't recommend, but it's your choice. There are certain websites that help you to improve your skill set, so that you can do it, right? So apart from that, okay. So one good thing is those who are getting selected in the campus, they are the champs. Okay, they are the one, what I can say, without having a good knowledge, if they get selected, so definitely I can say they are luckiest persons. Okay, once they enter, they are going to get a training and all those stuffs. Okay, then they can learn. They don't need. But if you come out of your engineering without getting selected to the campus, what next you need to do is, definitely you need to have the lots of knowledge. Make sure you build those skills. It's not that you cannot build those knowledge. Definitely you can develop those knowledge, develop those skills, right? So that is required. Okay, so once you come out of your engineering courses, right? See if there is anywhere internship any company is offering. Okay, even it can be a free or if they pay or whatever, right? If you want to get into the VLSI industry, make sure you get some internship. Okay, try to see here and there and do some internship. Okay, that is even during your summer time. I think for postgraduate you have the project time and all, right? So try to do some summer internship trainings where you can learn some tools. Okay, it can be a synopsis, it can be a cadence or anything, right? So you can help to learn something. As I told you, webinars is one of them. Webinar, try to attend more webinars. Okay, webinars are available. Everybody is having time. In your free time, download it, attend the webinar. So that is one of the way to learn, develop your skills, right? So those who are undergraduates, those who are completing, and those who really want or wish to develop more, right, or to get into the VLSI field, right? So they can also prefer to do a master's from a recognized university. It can be MTech in VLSI, microelectronics, or you can join some IITs or anything, right? So, so undergraduate is courses like just making yourself prepared something to do. Okay, you might be completing in engineering, but you are not an engineer yet. Okay, that you remember. Okay, until unless you have a proper skill set and you develop a deep knowledge, right? So industry will not prefer you. Okay, if you really want to go a little bit deeper and learn something more and something add on to your skills, if you wish to do it, definitely you can go for the masters. Okay, and you can develop your more skills. So that is one thing I would like to tell. So I think many colleges and universities, they are offering many courses. Okay, you can develop your technical skills, hard skills from those universities. That is required. Fine. So apart from that, if you are looking for a management skill, just take an example for myself, right? See, I know I have the technical experience. I have the good number of years of experience. What if I want to manage a team, if I want to grow in the good positions or something like that, right? So even IIMs are also offering so many courses. I did an executive general management program. Similarly, there are so many management programs available in the good colleges. Online is available, offline it is available, or weekends it is available. It just you have to make your mind to learn. Okay, so many things are available in the industry, so that you definitely can make it. Okay, so I think this is very important. Various job profiles in VLSI, right? What are the different types of profiles? I think you will not be having a knowledge. What is having is you want to get some job. Okay, I'm just giving a brief idea on what all kind of roles you have in the industry. Okay, so this is an application VLSI engineer. Okay, so this role is basically to deal with the customers. Okay. You have the tool knowledge, you have the code knowledge, you have the flow knowledge. Now you are stable enough and you are equipped enough to deal the customers. Okay, when you are working with customers, you are supposed to have all the tool knowledge, RTL knowledge, everything, right? You are supporting your tool, you are supporting your product from your industry. Okay, it can be an semiconductor product also, it can be an EDA product also, right? If you're selling your product, right, so definitely you should know in and out of your product. So that's how it will help you to grow customers, right? So that is one of the role called application engineer. Okay, so VLSI chip design engineers. Okay, this is the basic engineering that they give, the role that they give in the industry when you want to join as a fresher, right? So the position that you will get is VLSI chip design engineers. Okay, VLSI engineers for verification. So if somebody wants to get into the verification position, as I told you, if you want to deal with Verilog, VSDL, UM, and other verification languages, right? So that's also vast field. So that is one of the positions available. Engineers for CAD. Okay, so what is this engineers for CAD? So every semiconductor industry, right? It can be an Intel or it can be an Qualcomm or a Texas Instruments or you take any NVIDIA, anything, okay, NVIDIA, or you take any semiconductor, ST or anything, right? Tata LXC or Philips or ST or anything, any companies you take, everybody will be having the CAD group. Okay, what does the CAD group? Basically, this is the tool group. So they will be supporting all other engineers from the tool point of view. So this is also one of the positions you will get it. Okay, and VLSI engineers for sales. So this is anyhow, this is for the later stage. Once you cross all these stages, right? So you can get into the sales, but definitely the sales needs an experience. You need to have all the skills, whatever I have mentioned, including the technical knowledge, so you can get into the sales field. Okay, so VLSI R&D engineer, I am just putting it little later in this, because this VLSI R&D engineer is the role for anybody coming from CS, right? Just a computer science background, right? And it is also fit for the electronics engineer also, but they need to definitely know C, C++ coding, Verilog, VHDL knowledge and everything. Okay, so this is basically the software point of view. Okay, so I think these slides will be supplied to you. I think you can refer the key technical skills. So whatever the roles I have, I'm speaking about it, right? So those roles have given a key description. When you say ASIC digital design engineer, what are the skill sets that they are looking for? If you see this, right, Perl and shell scripts you need to know, and a session planning you need to have, and you see this experience, be with 3 years of relevant experience, right, or MTech with 1 year of experience. Okay, so this doesn't hold good if you have all these skills with a 0 experience. That makes sense, right? With 0 years of experience, if you have all the skills, then definitely you are still eligible for these positions. Okay, so application engineer. So I am currently into the role of this application engineer, where I support multiple customers, right? As Meghna ma'am told, I am supporting customer, the top semiconductor industry, which is Intel, Qualcomm. I'm supporting. Earlier I supported Broadcom and Minitex, instance, many other customers too. So this is the role where you need an excellent technical support to enable customers on different tools, right? Work closely with customers to understand current design, verification flow and future needs, drive best practices, full understanding of digital design methodology. You see this? I think for you, right, to develop your skill set, you don't need anything. Just refer this job descriptions. Okay, go through the industry websites, refer these job descriptions, and try to develop those skills. I think that is your goal. These are the skill sets you have, ready-made skill sets. Try to develop those skill sets. Okay, so similarly, I have given for the ASIC digital design engineer analog. If you're looking for analog or mixed signal design processor, what that has to have, right? And what if there's somebody looking for FPGA design engineer, right? If you want to be a verification engineer, or if you want to a DFT skills, right? You see this verification engineer, as I told you, right? VMM, UEM knowledge, and the Perl and Tickle. If you see this Perl and Tickle, you will see in most of the skill sets. Okay, Perl and Tickle. And so HVL based languages, verification languages, and some, see, this is simulators like VCS. So they are asking for a tool knowledge also. They are asking for PCIe protocol. Okay, so this is PCIe protocol. You theoretically will get lots of materials in the online. Try to get some knowledge on this PCIe, AMBA protocol, or some other protocols, right? So there are so many protocols available. So try to download them and study. So DFT skills, this is another domain where you can have. You see this experience of working on Synopsys EDA tools is a plus. Okay, so definitely if you have the tool knowledge, it will help you to get a good job. What R&D design engineer, ASIC digital design engineer, so lots of things. Okay, I'm heading towards to the end of end of my presentation. Okay, so not only having a skills, hard skills and soft skills is important, but how do you build a resume, right? And just scoring a 85%, 95% will not get you a job, but how will you convince others through some material that is a job, that is a resume, right? Which is very important, right? So I suggest to have some good covering letter. Okay, what the cover letter will have. Choose a couple of personal development skills that you feel strong and most relevant to the job. Don't Some people what they do is they prepare one cover letter and keep sending to everyone. Wherever they get, they just keep sending different. Don't do that. Okay, just see what is the job description and how do you make yourself fit for that. Accordingly, you design your cover letter and send it to them. So that will feel more interest on you, right? And education, I think this is simply in the simplest words. You put your percentage, year passing, and whatever, right? And if you have some experience, well and good, you put it. If not, right, in the experience field, you tell them that 3 months of design training you did it or something you did. And for example, you have a gap of 6 months. If you don't get a gap of 6 months, you do something, learn some good hard skills, learn some online courses or something, right? In experience, you make sure you use those training things and whatnot, right? So just try to put skills that includes hard and soft skills, both you have to list it out. So soft skills, so definitely don't forget, as I told you in my initial slides, right? Don't forget to add strengths and weakness, okay? And what are your goals? And you make sure you include them. Hard skills, technical skills, trainings and courses, okay? If you attend any webinars, conferences, online courses, or I think even universities do lots of webinars, right? Try to attend those webinars, and even they do lots of presentations and career skills, and every university is doing one or the other thing, right? So the project exhibition or anything like that, put them as part of the trainings and courses. Okay, personal profile. So I'm telling you, as part of your resume, right? For example, they are looking for digital design aspects. How do you make sure that you convince your the job interviewer to make sure you know the digital design concepts? You put it part of your resume, add it, RTL, VSDL, very long, or any other skills, right? For example, if you know something about machine learning, add it as part of your resume. Okay, if you know artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, chatbots, whatever the latest in the industry, right? Try to learn something on it. Okay, try to go through good videos and put it as part of your resume. Okay, so how does the resume get selected? Resume is like one big data analytics bin. Okay, and how we cannot keep on searching one by one, and we will not search the resumes like that. Okay, so what we do is we use a keywords to search the resumes. Okay, for example, I need somebody, some person who knows the artificial intelligence. Okay, what I will do is I will search with artificial intelligence, and only those resumes will pop up, and I will take only those resumes. Okay, similarly, that's why I'm telling you, you make sure your resume has the lot of keywords. Okay, once you have the lot of keywords, that will help you to at least select the resume. Then getting the interview call is a different, but at least they have to select your resume, right? So make sure that it selects with a different keyword. So that is important. Okay. Yeah, as I told you, must skills in your profiles, and good to know. Okay, so this is the latest trend in the industry, which I am working on, right? In even my tools are heading towards, and even other industries are interested is basically artificial intelligence, machine learning, emotional learning, data analytics, chatbot, Python skills. So these are the required things. Okay, so these are the latest trend in the industries. So every tool you take anything, right? So they are coming with artificial intelligence. They are coming with machine learning. So good to have some knowledge on that to add on to your resumes. Okay. So top 10 companies in VLSI industry I have listed out, starts with Samsung, Intel, or whatever, right? So so these are some top 10 semiconductor companies. Okay. So where you may have to look out for a job, and try to when you say Samsung, right, what Samsung does in semiconductor industries, right? So they have a lot of processor. Try to learn them, what kind of processor, what not, right? You are similar to the Intel and everything. So just focus on what is your current skill and what has to be done and those stuff, right? So definitely I can say that success will be yours. Okay, once I have given the key points that you need to really do it, right? So once you could able to achieve them, getting job is very easy. Okay, I'm telling you, in the industry there are lots of jobs in the market. Okay, but how do you make fit to yourself to the job that is important. then success will be yours. Okay. Yeah, that's it from my end, Meghna madam. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, and we thank all our students for contributing their questions during the registration. We had asked the questions to be asked to the
Yeah.
resource person, and they have contributed many questions. And due to time constraint, we will be taking only few questions. So maximum 2 to 3 questions I'll be taking.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
first
sure, ma'am.
question is from Abhishek Kulkarni. He's from Shri Dharmastha Ishwara College of Engineering and Technology. He
Okay.
asked, like, what VLSI industry is expecting from the students before they start working?
Yeah, so I think in my topic I already covered all the skill sets that is we're looking for, right? So as an postgraduate or a UG graduate student, right? So you definitely you need to have some basic skill set, right? Which I already covered part of my presentation today. So make sure that your basics are strong. When somebody asks you a transistor, you should not tell it's a three-leg something having, right? So you should be knowing what exactly the transistor, what is the functionality of the transistor, right? Make sure that your basics are strong. Okay, whatever you have learned in your engineering, make sure you could able to express those. So that is very important. Yeah.
And one more question from Nishita Palan at Triya Institute of Technology. He asks, how does a fresher get into VLSI industry on their own and without going to the training institute?
Yeah, good question. So definitely, I know I cannot tell that trainings are mandatory. So as I told you, you have to brush up your basic skills again, right? And as I told you, online also there are lots of courses available. Okay, you can go through them courses. As I told you, I have listed out all the skill sets what is required, right? And even I have listed what are the different kinds of job profiles and job descriptions that is required for the industry. You keep preparing them. Okay, prepare all the, I think online you get lot of materials. You keep preparing those skills, Perl, Python, Verilog, VSDL, to start writing the coding and those stuffs, right? You don't have to go to training institute to learn anything. Okay, you just have to know what need to be learned, which I already presented in my slides, what need to be learned. Just make sure you learn those and you are expert from that. If somebody asks you to write an flop code, don't be in a blah blah state. Okay, so make sure you write a flop code and make sure yourself is a presentable thing. I think that will help.
Last question, sir. So
Yeah.
this is from Omkar Dilare from VJTI. So he asks how to get into the companies like Synopsys via off campus.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that's a good question. So basically, I think if you take any top companies, right? Let's say I'm proud to claim that I'm part of Synopsys as one of the top, like number one company in the EDA field. So mostly, what these top companies they do is they go and hire through the campus. Okay, and if you want to come without the campus, right? So yes, so definitely, I think in our industry we prefer MTech guys. Okay, basically MTech is the must for us. But even if wherever the BTech comes into picture, right? So definitely we prefer to them to go through the 1 year internship program. Okay, once they go through that 1 year internship program, based on their performance, so they'll be selected. So definitely, I think there are lots of internship floating on the website. So you can definitely apply for them internships. And if there are any 1+ years of experience, anything such that, just try to apply them and be strong with your basic skills. And so definitely that will help you to fit to that position. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. That's all for the
Yeah.
questions. Due to time constraints, we can take only so many questions as you are very busy. And now I request Professor T.C. Tanuja to propose the vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank
ma'am.
you, Meghna. Yeah, sir. Well, once again, it is. I feel because we are last year also we had your lecture. It was really useful for the students. Again, we have an opportunity to get you back on the webinar of online. Okay, so I actually take this opportunity to thank everyone on behalf of the Department of ECE. I thank our authorities and also the officers for an encouragement and granting permission to conduct this webinar. I hope all the participants have enjoyed this session. It was I know that Sir has covered. Yeah, is it Meghna? Is it audible?
Yeah, it's audible, ma'am. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, it is audible. It's audible.
Yeah. I hope all of you have enjoyed this webinar. Mr. Jaiprakash has covered end-to-end scenario in the VLSI, and I don't think he has left any field which is untouched. It is everything, every point of the required information is touched by the Mr. Jaiprakash. And it was very exhaustive information, and he has given an insight to VLSI design environment, job opportunities, and also what is the expectation of industry, and what should be your preparation and to adapt to the industry and your responsibilities during your studies. I think all the fields mentioned by Mr. Jaiprakash for the job opportunities are well covered in 2020 VLSI MTech syllabus of the video. I think students, as Sir said, you have to get up to because the industry looks at the skill set, not only the theory knowledge, right? You have to gain the skill sets required for the industry. I think this webinar is very useful for all the students to get to know what is the need of the day in the VLSI arena. With this, I once again I welcome and also thank Jaiprakash for sparing his valuable time. I know how busy you are with your work, and the knowledge shared and covered information from end to end. I thank Dr. Meghna and Mr. Mahesh Nilga for being organized this kind of webinar. I thank all the faculty and the students who have attended this webinar. I look back the same participation from all the participants for the subsequent seminars also. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
you,
It's pleasure to be part of the team. I think
Yes,
so.
sir.
Since we didn't get any
So
industry exposure, so I definitely
Yeah.
would love to share my experience and for the upcoming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
you
we
are one
expect
of
the same support in future also, sir, from you.
Yeah, definitely. I will do that.
And since you are alumni of the department, so we expect more as a department for our students.
Definitely, ma'am. We'll do that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time.
Sure. Thank you. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jaiprakash. Yeah. We want to keep in touch with you in future also.
Definitely, ma'am. Anytime. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.